Hello guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I know it's a long time no see. This time it was because I was in a reading slump, and to be honest I had no idea what I could even film because I talked to you guys about the reading challenge already. Most of you already know about the Harry Potter books, so it's not even like I can do a review on that. I don't want to put video just for the sake of it, and not have something interesting to talk about. So this is why, yeah, I was looking for an idea. I was like, maybe I can vlog me reading, but this is not really entertaining for you guys. So yeah. So in this video, it's gonna be a little bit of me giving you an update on my life and why I was gone. And I'm gonna do something different, and I hope you guys will like it. And if not, I will know for next time, but I just wanted to try something. And because I was thinking that I could also start posting my opinion on, you know, movies and series and stuff like that, because I don't want to limit myself just to books. While I read a lot, I also watch a lot of series, a lot of documentaries. There's also a lot of trending videos on TikTok at the moment. For example, the Who the Fuck Did I Marry series, and I don't know if you guys want my opinion on that, for example, because I'm doing a translation in French on my TikTok, my personal TikTok, by the way, which I will link down below. And on that account I also do reviews on movies and on series, and it's really entertaining. I've never tried that, so I was thinking maybe I'll try it for my YouTube channel. And if you guys like it, I may continue, because this channel is where I do most of my English content. Over there on TikTok, on Instagram and all of that, I speak in French, so it's also a good exercise for me to see if I can translate my thoughts from French to English, because obviously when you're in a mother tongue it's easier. I also started reading in French lately, some of the classics, you know, just to see if I was feeling comfortable doing that again. And I'm considering reading Fourth Wing in French. I started in English and it's really nice, but I was like, oh, maybe I can jump to the French version, but that's a discussion for another day. Today, I want to talk about the movie Mea Culpa. It's been such a huge topic of discussion on the internet since the release. So it was released February 23rd, 2024 on Netflix. I think we got it in Netflix, Luxembourg, Belgium, and all of that. I think the week of the 29th, so a little bit after the official release in the United States, but you know, the official release date was February 23rd. So the film is written and directed by Tyler Perry. You have the main actress, Kelly Rowland. So if you guys don't know her, she was in a huge group back in the day in the Destiny's Child. And you also have Trevante Road, and then you have Nick Sagar, Sean Sagar, Ronrico Lee, and Shannon Thornton. First, I want to give a disclaimer, few disclaimers actually. First, if you don't like spoilers, please click out the video, because there are gonna be some spoiler in the video. And second, this video is in no way, shape, or form for me to be bashing Tyler Perry. If you guys don't know, I'm really involved in anything supporting Black businesses, because I'm a Black person myself. I'm African, I'm proudly African, proudly a Black woman. So anytime I can support, you know, anything Black, I do. And Tyler Perry is, if you guys didn't know, I'm gonna put a picture of him on my screen right here. He's a Black man. And he was one of the first Black producer in the United States that really made it big, with movies that were composed of an all Black cast almost. You would have a few characters that weren't of color, that were, for example, Caucasian or Asian or anything or something like that, but mostly his movies were always composed of a Black cast, which is something that I love about him, because he gave light to so many Black talents. This is something that I love about him. And so I don't want to be seen as, you know, diminishing his work or what he accomplished for the Black community, because this is not my goal. I just wanted to talk about the inconsistencies that I've noticed in his movies, in the few one that he released recently, that you would think like, okay, I've seen a decline in the quality of the scenarios, almost like they're not finished or something like that. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about. So I will start by saying that the last movies of Tyler that I've seen were A Jazzman's Blues and A Fall from Grace and Acrimony. I believe Acrimony is also by him. Yeah, Acrimony. You always have a crazy plot twist at the end, especially those movies that I just mentioned, because they are labeled as thrillers. So that was as expected also for Mea Culpa. I knew it was going to be a plot twist at the end, and I knew it was going to be a crazy story. So when you go into a Tyler Perry movie, you know that you're going to have romance, but mostly you're going to have plot twists, family, drama, all of that. So, Mea Culpa, just to give you an idea, it's about a lawyer called Mia, and she's called to represent artist, like a painter called Zaire or Sayer. Sorry if I mispronounce his name. So yeah, Mia is a lawyer, and she's gonna take the case of Zaire Malloy, and he's accused of murdering Heidi, his girlfriend, that he met on vacation, and that was from Mexico. She completely disappeared, but they found traces of blood and skeleton on one of his paintings, and the whole flat was filled with blood, so obviously he was the prime suspect, and he doesn't really have a solid alibi or something that would explain where he was and why he didn't kill her. So yeah, he's explaining to Mia that they had the best relationship, he was so in love with her, he would have never hurt her. But the thing is, they have so basically the DA of the case, who is also Mia's brother-in-law, so you know there's a little bit of conflict of interest there, which it was mentioned. And at the beginning of the movie, the brother-in-law is asking Mia to, you know, refuse the case so that he would have to recluse himself, but she refuses. In the end, the judge for some reason decided to keep them both on the case, which to me, as a lawyer myself, didn't sound really ethical or something that would fly. But because I don't know the common law system, I live in Belgium and we have the civil law system, I could be wrong, but to me it sounded like something that wouldn't happen in real life. But yeah, so Mia starts going to see Zaire at his place to investigate and to learn about his history with ID, why it would, you know, potentially kill her. And that was weird for me from the get-go, because why would you visit your client at his home at night? And she never had any files with her. If you know anything about law and being a lawyer, we print so much paper. I think we are responsible for half of the carbon footprint that we have on the earth. It's not even a joke. This is one of the aspects that I hated about my job. The fact that we print so much things, like every file is like printed. So why are you walking around with one sheet of paper when you have to defend this man for murder, and is like risking the death penalty? So this is a serious case. She was never taking notes about what he was saying to her. She was never recording him, at least with a device, so that she could, you know, go back on that and work on a defense, you know, strategy. So all of that, it was an inconsistency that I see in a lot of series, either or books or even movies that portrays judges and lawyers. And I feel like it's the same for anybody that is like a nurse or a doctor and is in the medical field, and you have to watch series like Grey's Anatomy or The Good Doctor and see the inconsistencies. It's the same for me. To me, the way a defense attorney is gonna work is not like the way she was working. But yeah, so the DA had several women that were ready to testify against Zaire for him being violent during sex, for him being into BDSM, but to the extreme, and liking to inflict pain on his women. So she was asking him questions like, how are you going to defend yourself and say that you never hurt your girlfriend when the, you know, the district attorney and the prosecution is going to present the fact that you have several exes that are ready to say that you know, been violent with them. He said that they were bitter, and at some point she was also telling him, so all of your exes were bitter. It didn't make no sense. So she made the mental note to go visit one of them, who is the owner of an art gallery, so that she could learn about him and why he was behaving this way. So that was one of the first things that I was like, okay. Then the family of Mia. So she's married to a guy and is unemployed, currently unemployed. So apparently he was an anesthesiologist and he was taking his own medicine. So he was basically getting high on his product that he was supposed to administrate to patients. Then he was fired. he refuses to tell his family that he lost his job, and we see his brother, so Mia's brother-in-law, the one that is a prosecutor, and his mother, who is insufferable with Mia. She hates her. We don't really know why, but she sees her as somebody that is taking advantage of her son, especially financially, which is ironic because, like I said, he lost his job and she's the one supporting the whole family and paying for all the bills, but the family doesn't know because he doesn't want them to be aware of that. And she also have a sister-in-law, so the brother-in-law's wife, with whom she really gets along with. But the family is off from the get-go, so I was like, there's something going on there. The mom is supposedly dying from cancer, so the son is always excusing her behavior, paying stuff for her with the money that he doesn't even have. So at some point, for example, he sold Mia's piano so that he was able to buy her, I don't remember, a watch or something like that. So the relationship between Mia and her husband is strained because of multiple factors. Him not working, her supporting the household financially, his family being overbearing, especially his mom, and being insufferable with Mia. So all of that is contributing to the fact that they have a rocky relationship. So we're presented with that fact from the get-go. After that, we see that the case is going forward. So Mia is starting to, go deep, and she hires one of her friends who is a private investigator so that he can go look into the ex-girlfriend ID and look for her in Mexico, because at this point we assume she's dead because of the amount of blood she lost, but we still don't know because there's no body. Zaire is exhibiting odd behavior for somebody that is prosecuted for murder, because he smokes weed when he shouldn't because he's on probation. He goes to sex parties, and all the time Mia is saying you should lay low, you should have an attitude of remorse, so that the public can be compassionate with you, and not because at the end of the day you're going to be in front of a jury, and they're going to decide whether or not you get the death penalty. So you have to behave yourself in a way that they would be willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and believe the fact that, as you said, you didn't kill your ex-girlfriend. So the case is still going. She's still making researches, and at that time she's suspecting her husband of cheating. And one day the private investigator, who always kept a tab on the husband, which to me was weird because I felt like he had feelings for her but didn't want to admit it, but whatever, he's saying, okay, he just checked out in a hotel with a woman. At the time, she's starting to develop feelings for Zaire and feel a lot of attraction to him, and she doesn't know what to do about it, because first, he's her client, second, she's married, and third, is accused of murder. So all of that, she should be running away, but she's still feeling this pull to him. So when she learned that her husband is at the hotel with somebody, she decided to say fuck it and go and have sex with Zaire. Which, by the way, we have to talk about that sex scene. So if you saw the movie, you saw that she was basically coming after another lady, meaning that when she came back to Zaire with the conviction that she was finally gonna let go and have sex with him, there was literally another lady on top of him, which was so nasty to me. And trust me, I'm no prude, but girl, at least have the man take a shower or something, because, first of all, disease. Second of all, just for yourself, girl. He was just with another woman a minute ago, and you go kiss him and have sex with him? Crazy. Which, now they're implicated, and it's more than a relationship between clients and attorney. And she does everything she can to give up the case and direct him to other lawyers, because they had a lot of fights. Like, their relationship was weird to me from the get-go. Besides the fact that they have sexual relationship, there was this ambiguous feeling between them that you could tell that it's a little bit more than friends, but it's still not borderline to the fact that, they're right off the bat doing something that they shouldn't. But the way they talk, the way they interact with each other was inappropriate from the start. After that, you have the whole story taking a turn left and a turn right. We took several turns. Like, the story was ridiculous. So she's forced to confess that she slept with him to not only her husband, but the brother-in-law and the mom. And they kick her out. And which I'm like, why are you even meddling in that? And obviously because of that, she loses the case and she can no longer represent him. So we don't even know what happened to him, and we never saw like one scene at the court. one scene with the judge or nothing. So for a story that was all centered around a judicial case, it was everything but judicial, but whatever. So she decides to take a retreat to the Dominican Republic to take a breather and, take a step back from all of this, because she also talked to the owner of the art gallery that I mentioned. She told her that she had sex with him, and the modus operandi, so how it got to get her to trust him and have sex with him, was exactly the way he behaved with Mia. So she's a little bit flustered because she realized that everything he did with her, he did with previous women before. And at some point in his room, he had a painting of her on the ceiling that he put for her, and she ripped it off, and she discovered multiple painting of multiple women, including a painting of the ex-girlfriend with the word "die bitch" on it or something like that. So she should have known that this man was not, all normal. So yeah, she goes to the Dominican Republic to get away from her family, to get away from her husband, and to get away from Zaire. And once she gets there, lo and behold, who is she running into? Literally running into. If you saw the scene, you will know what I mean. The ex-girlfriend, who is working now as a cleaning lady. And she's like, wait, Zaire is being prosecuted for your murder, and just me seeing you alive would save his life, so I need you to come with me to the police station so that you can say that you're fine and well. Obviously, the lady runs away. She runs after her. And what I don't understand, she calls her private investigator friend and she said, you need to find this lady, you need to come here and to find her, we need to take her back to the United States. But at that point, she get a call from her brother-in-law, and she decides to trust him with the story, knowing that the family hates her, he's been, unsufferable with her, the mom as well, and he doesn't have her best interest at heart, but he's like, no, don't worry, I'm going to take care of it. Because I'm the prosecutor on the case, I'm going to make sure that somebody goes, find her so that we can drop the case, and Zaire, can get away unscathed. And he said, just come back to the United States and to our house. We're going to have a family talk. I think my brother wants to get back with you. So yeah, let's just start from zero and let's forget that this even happened. And she, for some reason, trusts him and decides to go back home. Once she arrived, that's when the whole plot unravels, and she realized that the mom never had cancer. The brother-in-law is the one that put the whole story together so that he could get elected as mayor or something like that. So he wanted to pin the murder on Zaire because he realized that Zaire slept with his wife. And as a revenge, he was like, okay, I'm going to pin the murder on you, the murder that never happened. And if I'm seen resolving something so big, it's gonna help my campaign as a mayor. I don't know how all of that correlates, because to me, if you really want to campaign as a mayor, you shouldn't need a fake case of somebody being convicted for murder, because if you're a good district attorney, you should have plenty cases that you won, under your belt. So why would you need to set up this whole thing just because the guy slept with your wife? That sounds crazy to me. So they decide to have Mia kill the sister-in-law. They decide to have the sister-in-law kill Mia, and the mom and the brother were in cahoots. But he kept saying, my brother, so your husband is not aware of that, is coming here, but we need you to be gone by the time he gets there. So she managed to escape, and on the road she encounters her husband. So she's like, we cannot go back there, your brother and your mom tried to kill me. And he's like, what? Let me call 911. And one of the funny things, 911 called him back. That was the funniest scene in the whole movie, I swear to God. So he was on the phone with 911. He's like, yeah, I just found my wife. She's like flustered and she was attacked by my family. Then 911 called him back, and it's actually the brother who's asking where she is. And he's like, I'm going to take her, because she put the speaker on, how the phone connects to your car. And she's able to hear, even though he has the phone to his ear. That is the brother saying, she discovered everything, you need to get her back. So all of them were in cahoots, which now I don't understand, because at the beginning, they didn't want her to take the case for obvious reason, because the brother-in-law was going to be the DA on the case. So conflict of interest. They did everything in their power for her not to be on the case. So why were they using her, and what were they expecting of her? Because so the sister-in-law slept with the guy, so they were taking revenge on her, so that I understand. But where does Mia play a part in all of that? Because if she would have listened to them, she wouldn't have taken the case, and she wouldn't have been implicated. So maybe that's why they were mad at her and they decided to switch the plan and make sure that she took the fall from all of this. But to me, it didn't make no sense that they would let her prosecute the case that they're trying to invent. And were they planning on her to sleep with Zaire? So to be unfaithful, were they planning on her to, you know, build a case against Zaire? I don't know. So the plan of the family didn't make sense. And why would you do all of that just to be a mayor? So yeah. Other inconsistencies. So like I said, we see Zaire going to a sex party. Never heard from that again. We are mentioned multiple exes. First of all, why is the owner of the gallery like one of the persons supposed to testify? Because she had no clue what his relationship with his current girlfriend was. So I wouldn't take an ex and expect her to give an accurate testimony. I mean, as a lawyer, I would know that she wouldn't be unbiased. So for the prosecution, to me, it didn't make sense, but whatever. No, sorry. For Mia, for her to want to talk to her, it didn't make sense. Of course, she's going to be good for the prosecution because they're trying to prove that he's violent towards women and he can kill. But her, what did she expect to find out? So whatever. They never went to find the first ex-girlfriend that said he was into sadomasochist things and that he was violent. So yeah, let me just sum it up. There's so many inconsistencies, and I've said that before in videos talking about books. I hate when something doesn't make sense. And this movie to me didn't make sense. For example, at the end, she's running away and she's walking. That's when she meets her husband and he's taking her back to the house to get killed by the family. But him, when he does that, he's driving like for half an hour almost, like for so long. And there's a truck coming out of nowhere when we saw that it's just a residential areas with houses. So there shouldn't be a truck there to conveniently be able to bump into them and save her from that. So yeah, the whole movie was a hot ass mess. There's no other way to say it. But like I said, I don't want to bash Tyler Perry, but when I see a Jazzman Blues, it was also a little bit crazy to me, but still more believable. Like if you know that movie, the ending was insane, but it had more sense. But I could see that there were still some inconsistencies. And like I said, the last few movies of Tyler Perry's have been going gradually to the point where the inconsistencies are too much for you to enjoy the movie and to be able to just sit back and say, okay, whatever, it doesn't make sense, but I can overlook it. For me, you couldn't. So yeah, to me, you shouldn't even waste your time watching it. I hope the next movie is gonna be better. I feel bad because I love Kelly Rowland, I love Trevante Rhodes, and I feel like they deserved better. But even them, it's a splash on their career because the movie is so ridiculous that it's getting all of these TikToks reviews and people talking about it on YouTube because it's a waste of 2 hours. And I've never been on my phone so much during a Tyler Perry movie, which tells you how much it was crazy. Because A Fall from Grace, I was hooked from the beginning to end. I was following, like I could tell you the details. I was invested in that stories, even though it was crazy. Acrimony, same thing. Jazzman Blues, but I was still following along. But like I said, there's a decline in quality in Tyler Perry movies, and I feel like in general the film industry is not putting as much effort. They want something that is gonna be trending, that people are gonna talk about, but not necessarily something that is, you know, award worthy, Oscar worthy. Like when I see the movies that would get Oscars nowadays, I'm like, what? Like some of them, like a few years ago, wouldn't have gotten any kind of awards. But because we're in this season where it's, you know, consumption over quality, like quantity over quality, I feel like in the music industry, the movie industry, even in books, guys, I've read so many bad books. That's also one of the reasons I took a break. I couldn't even review what I was reading because I had to DNF more books in January to March than in the whole last 3-4 years that I've been reading really intensively. Because some of those books, you're like, did somebody even proofread what you the book? I know a lot of authors nowadays are doing a lot of self-publishing, self-editing, and I'm commending them for that because to me it's so impressive. But some of those books should have never seen the light of day, and yeah, that would be for another video. Let me stop my rambling because I'm seeing that a video that I planned to be 15 minutes is now more than that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought about Mea Culpa and what you think about Tyler Perry's movies in general. And yeah, let me know also if you would like me to do a video on who the fuck did I marry. I wanted to also do a video talking a little bit about my Kindle and how it is to read digitally. So I have a few ideas for the next videos, but it's not gonna be as regular, I think, as what I used to do, because like I said, I want to read a few books and have more materials. One thing that I'm planning to film for next week, I think it's gonna be the recap video on Sophie Lark or Cora Riley, one of them, but they're gonna go back to back. I'm gonna do like a series on mafia books and I want to talk about them in there. So yeah, I hope I'm gonna get out of this reading slump. So this video is probably gonna be published on Sunday, so I wish you in advance a good week that is coming, and a good day or night or whenever you guys are watching. Bye.